Welcome to the Michigan Skier Show with our host, Jim Neff. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Welcome to this edition of the Michigan Skier. I'm your host, Jim Neff, and we're here at Crystal Mountain with women's equipment guru and ski legend Jeannie Thoren, one of the top 100 skiers in America as voted by Ski Magazine. And Jeannie, your clinics are famous all across the country. Briefly give us a description of the difference between men and women when it comes to anatomical differences in the way they ski.
Well, basically what it is that women have more trouble getting their weight forward on the skis. Basically, guys have more weight above the belt, and we have more weight below the belt. So when they tell us to get forward and bend our knees, because of the way that we bend, when we flex forward, our weight goes onto the back end of the ski. When you guys flex forward, your weight goes forward. Now, if skis turn from the back end, we'd be fine. But skis turn from the front end, so it's easier for men to get their weight forward onto the front of the ski to make it turn.
Now, Jeannie, there's a couple of things that you do typically at each clinic, and the first one has to do with skis and the position of the binding. Explain how that all works.
Well, because a woman has her weight further back on the ski and has trouble getting forward, my theory is that if you can't get your weight forward far enough, then why don't we just move the bindings forward? And there's also something else. The binding specifications have been made around a size 9 man's foot. So when you put a woman's little size 7 on a pair of skis, she's actually mounted further back on the ski just because of the size of her foot. So you add the smaller women's feet size and the size of their back end, and they have trouble getting forward. So all I do in the clinic is I flip a little lever. I have 100 pairs of skis back here, and I flip a little dial and move them forward, and she can say whether she likes it or not.
Now, the other part of the component is the boots, because
Correct.
the women's boots, what you do with the inside particularly, makes a big difference. Explain that to us.
Okay, women have less ankle and knee flex than men do, and also the boots can be a little bit stiff on them, so when they're trying to get forward, they don't get as far forward as men inside of their ski boots. So I put a heel lift in women's boots that's about a 1/2 inch high, and I'm trying to get women up onto the tips of their skis. So it gives them a lot better flex, and they can get their weight further forward on the ski.
We'll be back at Crystal Mountain with more with Jeannie Thoren, but first let's break for this message.
Kensington barely avoids a yellow card, and Peters with the throw-in. Oh my, here we go again. Yes, we've seen this before, haven't we? Don't think the Queen would look twice at that. There he goes. He's not going to make it with the royal. Oh my!
You just did it, so I had to hit it. Whoa!
Jeannie,
Yes.
when women come to your clinics, it's a full experience, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Give us just a kind of a capsule of what goes on at a typical Jeannie Thoren clinic.
Well, what we started with this morning is fixing the women's boots first. That's key. If your boots don't fit you properly, then your skis are going to give you trouble. So the first thing that we do is fix up the boots. We start with the way they come. She comes in her own boots and her own skis, or rentals if she needs to rent. And we start her out the way that she comes to me, and then we make the heel lifts, and we put a footbed and arch support inside of the boot so that they can turn their skis easier. And we fix their boots first.
Okay.
All the time we're on the same run, so that I know that the only thing that's changing the experiment is changing their equipment. Hi! So we've just finished up doing some little exercises on the skis to see where they're centered on the ski. And I had them do some exercises that tell you whether you're forward or backwards on your skis. All of them have difficulty with this little exercise, and it should be lots better when I move their bindings forward just this much. And one thing that is happening in the sport that's really a benefit to women right now is the shorter skis. They're easier to turn. It makes life so much easier. You don't have to be a muscle-bound ape to turn things. It is just a dream. So she's able to find out what length she needs and what kind she needs, stiffer, softer, where she likes the bindings, and it's truly a way to individualize mass-produced equipment.
Now you do these clinics all across the country every year. It's the Jeannie Thoren Road Show.
Yes.
Beyond that, though, you also test skis for Ski Magazine.
Correct.
How have the equipment manufacturers, both for boots and skis, taken to these improvements, particularly in the last few years?
It's been astounding. I just came back from the Vegas ski show where the manufacturers come. I was there 25 years ago trying to get better equipment for women, and now I'm an overnight success.
Well, Jeannie, it's just been a pleasure to know you and interview you today. Speaking from personal experience with my own wife Ann, we know that the Jeannie Thoren principles do work and improve your skiing. And here at Crystal Mountain, we're here with Jeannie Thoren and Master Instructor Bud Abbey. Jeannie?
Hi. Hey, did you know that Bud is one of the top ski instructors from Ski Magazine this year in the October issue? Bud was voted one of the top 100 instructors in the country.
And Bud's been here, Crystal, for a long time, Bud.
17 years. 17 years.
And he's one of the great instructors, particularly with adult skiers. Bud does a great job with adult skiers. We hope you enjoyed this edition of the Michigan Skier. Until next time, I'm your host, Jim Neff, wishing you great skiing.